We are 9 months into a 2-week shutdown, and now we're relying on Pfizer and Moderna to bail us out with this COVID-19 vaccine.
Yeah, it's been a little bit crazy, but it ain't gonna get me, bro. Shit, didn't you work for Pfizer back in the day? You could have helped me out, bruh.
What's happening, guys? I'm Sean.
I'm Shane. Let's get started.
The COVID-19 virus has thrown the entire world for the loop in 2020. None harder than Americans, mostly because we're Americans.
We don't have the vibrational frequency to host that virus.
And I taught her that.
So if you don't have that vibrational frequency right here, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
We don't have the vibrational frequency to get COVID?
Correct.
We have people who don't believe in the virus, much less a vaccine for it.
Honestly, I joke around about it, but it's obviously a very real situation. But when it comes down to the vaccines, I'm scared. I'm scared of the vaccines. I said for a long time, if people start taking these vaccines and, we've turned into zombies, at least I've been training for that type of shit my whole life.
All of America's hoping that this vaccine comes, and half of America ain't even going to take it. They can get the shot like tomorrow, and they're like, nope, not me. I don't trust that thing. So why do we even put so much stock in this, though? Like, that doesn't even make any sense.
I'm just getting ready for the fucking zombies. No, but seriously, it's a very, very crazy situation you see us in. It's definitely, none of us have ever experienced anything like this before. I'm one of the people that started off feeling like it was a joke. Mm-hmm. Not gonna lie, I'm probably what the problem was, in the beginning stages. But now it's obviously to a point that we can't take this as a joke anymore. It's too many people dying.
Everybody was talking about, it's just going to be 2 weeks because, we need to flatten the curve, right? And 9 months later, not only did the curve not flatten, but we're at numbers just ridiculous compared to the rest of the world. And like, it's crazy. I mean, I know it's a bunch of stuff, but I don't know. Will you take the vaccine when you get it?
If it's available, I probably will, just because I want a little bit of freedom. I am still concerned about what it would do to our bodies later on. Obviously, there's not enough time to actually test the duration of our lives, or how this is going to affect us in 15 years, 20 years. Right. So many people with conspiracy theories, left, right. What's the right thing? What's the wrong thing to do right now? And the fact is, the right thing is at least to just listen to the experts and protect yourself, not allowing the disinformation and politics to come into the whole thing.
I think that one of the things that in any normal year that's not like this steaming dumpster fire that is 2020, that makes America so awesome for some of us, right, is that personal freedom is one of the things that they sell us on. Like, everybody's like, hey, you can be anybody you want to be. You can be you can be you, you can be free, you can be free, you can be free. But here's the thing. There are a lot of free nations in the world, as you know, but how many of them push this whole personal freedom shit as hard as America does? We push it, so that's our whole selling point. But then the thing is, the exact same thing that makes us awesome any other year is fucking us really bad now. Because everybody's like, no, I'm going to do what I want to do. Hey, the government says, hey, you need to wear a mask. I don't have to wear a mask. Fuck this. This is America. We put way too much stock in personal freedom. Being a free country is cool. Being the land of the free, home of the brave, blah, 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 blah. As black men, we will go down that particular rabbit hole another day. But Anthony Fauci, love that dude. Like, he's really good dude. I mean, he's a New Yorker. I'm a little biased. He's been the infectious diseases expert for a number of presidents, and he hasn't steered anybody wrong. And then in the Trump administration, and again, I don't really want to make this a political thing, but things just kind of went off the rails. This is the guy who knows more about infectious diseases than anybody else in the country, probably one of the few on the planet, and nobody wants to listen to him. This guy's screaming out in the void like, guys, social distance, wear a mask, do the right thing. And everybody's just looking at him like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, seriously.
Let's face it, I don't know, but if there was a woman who was in Europe, who was the actual, before Anthony Fauci even came out, she told the president a long time ago about the situation and what was coming. She prepared her own family as best she could, but she was silenced way before Fauci was. Now, the fact is, now we have a political spin on everything, but what it really comes down to is when somebody says, this is what we do. For instance, overseas, there have been influence from so many countries, and you're looking at how they attack the problem. It wasn't about freedom. It was about what was right and what was wrong for society. I think what we need to do is strip it down to the bare essentials.
Almost every single country on earth has been dealing with COVID-19. Almost every single one, except maybe a couple of like really remote like island nations. Every country in the world has been dealing with this, right? And what did the government do? The government goes to the people. Hey, if you want to live, do this.
Not to mention, the other countries supported their community. We are talking about, we all got $1,200. Maybe a little bit more if you were on unemployment and got an extra amount of money. But you used it for what it was used for, to stay distant, to stay away from people, and to make sure that you were doing your part. Let me tell you this story, all right? Real talk. So, you know Hendrik started school, right? I wanted him to go back to school. We're in Texas. It's a little more open than a lot of other states. Unfortunately, we get a letter right before the winter break telling me that my son has to quarantine for 14 days. So we live in a house with my parents, with our parents, and obviously we have to be safe. So we stayed upstairs and we quarantined for the entire time. So yes, it made us a little crazy, but nonetheless, it was required and it was to keep everyone safe. Immediately after the first day I got out, I went to Walmart and I saw everyone walking around with masks. I'm not going to discuss what the individuals looked like, but I saw two gentlemen who had guns on their hips, American flags on their t-shirts, and they were the only two people without a mask. If I was in there without my son, it was going to get off. Let me ask you. So if in this situation, if you come within 6 feet of me, do I have the right to punch you?
Now you got the right. You could beat the shit out of them. Please.
At this point, again, I quarantined not for just my good, but for the greater good of everyone in the school. If I felt like they felt, then I would have brought my son back to school the next day with no mask on and just checked him into class.
And the thing is, it's like, it's like, I mean, where does the line draw between being a responsible American, being an American, and being an American exercising his freedom and his rights, and an American just being a selfish asshole? Like, where does that line draw? Like, were you just being selfish? Like, look, the government is saying, like, who cares if you believe it or not? One of my friends, I actually had a conversation with him about it. And he put it probably even better than I could put it. What side of wrong do you really want to be on? You know what I mean? Like, what side of wrong do you want to be on? Wearing a mask and social distancing. So what if it doesn't work? I mean, I'm a man of science, and I actually believe, okay, as Dr. Fauci believes it's true, I believe it's true. But let's just say if you don't believe it, right? What side of wrong do you want to be on? Like, I'd rather err on the side of caution. Everybody's heard that. That's what you're doing. So just put the fucking mask on. What's the big deal?
I love people, and I wish people well. You know that. I do all the time. But those gentlemen, I don't wish well. I don't wish their family well. Because unfortunately, it's going to take a major ripple effect from something negative in their lives for them to care about other people. And that's a shame. That's the part where we're at now.
How did this all become political anyway? Like, how did this become political? Like, it became like the team mask, team no mask just happened to be Democrats and Republicans. Like, how did it even get to this bullshit? Like, it's a
I
mess.
think we all know the answer to how that started. It trickled from the top down. Nonetheless, we have someone that spreads disinformation and negativity. And I don't care what you voted for. If you voted for policies, that's entirely different. I don't care. We're talking about humans having decency and caring for other humans. That's it.
Right.
We do what we have to do.
Right.
Yes, it sucks. I hate it, but I want to get to the other side. I don't care. I just want to make it to the other side. I want to be one of the people that makes it. That's all that matters. That's the one thing that matters the most, is just we do what we have to do. We take the steps we have to take.
Right.
And I look forward to having a life again. The second I found out that my activity could injure somebody else, I had to tone it down.
Right.
There are
Of
others
course.
that don't feel that way. And I wish I could convince some of my friends. We see them all over. And I wish I could convince some of my friends to just understand that if we're doing at least the basics, then hopefully we'll be able to get
It's
out.
like I
Now
wish
it's
I could I wish I could just wring their necks. But I mean, for most of the people who I'm friends with on social, some of the people who don't agree with me, they all tend to be like really damn big. And I'm trying to get my ass beat over this. But
That's where I come in, bro. I had you your whole life. I got you. All right?
My man. I appreciate that.
Thanks again for tuning in to Pre-Caffeinated. I'm Shane with my brother Sean. If you like us, please subscribe.
Thanks again for watching. Take care, guys.
Grind honorably.
You grind honorably. And don't be an asshole. Wear a mask.
Oh, let me get a little flex on it. I'm ready if you are. Get this thing solved once and for all of our sake, for humanity's sake. Let us get out of the house and have fun with our families again. Let us have deep hugs and creepy breathing in somebody's ear again.
It's like let Shane go and get strange safely again, or safely-ish, I guess.
Strange. It doesn't get any stranger than wearing a mask and gloves in the bed, let me tell you.
I think you just invented a new kind of porn.
No condom. I'm not a savage. No, let me stop. No, please don't put that in the video.